know that we do talk about a lot of serious stuff, but we also have a lot of fun. So
Hello, my name is Foxy Kjeanah. I'm host of Mental Health Talk with KJ. I have my special guest, Amber. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. It's a beautiful day out here, despite the fact that it snowed.
Snow, but we still
Nice.
here.
Yep.
Tell me more about yourself. Tell the audience what you do.
So my name is Amber. I am the founder of Unapologetic Worldwide, which was established as Unapologetic Fashions in 2020 during COVID, which has now evolved into Unapologetic Worldwide, which is a brand and really just a movement of like living authentically. And what started for me was like, I'm not going to apologize for who I've been, you know, what I've had to be to survive, and who I'm becoming. And I realized along my journey that a lot of people were they get upset when you start evolving into a better version of yourself because they feel like they're being left behind. So that's really where Unapologetic came in, and now it's turned into a movement that supports domestic violence awareness. It supports single parent households, single parent children through arts, music, and fashion.
I love that. I love that so much. I've been supporting you for a while, so that's why I want her to be on episode 1, because you support a lot of like the domestic violence community. Well, episode 1, part 1. Okay, yeah, episode 1, part 1. And we have our audience ask us questions about domestic violence. So I'm going to ask 5 questions from my audience, and she's going to ask 5 questions from her audience. And yeah, we have so much good news coming. We got so much positive things coming with this podcast. So like, yeah, stay tuned. And we got some mental health cups for y'all. Look at, we got some coffee and some custom made. Okay, follow right here for more information and stay tuned.
All right, we'll just start at the top. So one of the questions is, what are your thoughts on people with cluster B personality disorders? Okay, so personality types or disorders. These are personalities that are very, very intense.
Yeah.
They're very emotionally charged.
Right.
So there's a few different ones. We'll start with antisocial personality disorder, which is often confused with like somebody who just doesn't like to talk to people or be around a lot of people, but it's actually way more loaded than that. People with antisocial personality disorders, they have a disregard for other people's boundaries.
Oh, yeah.
So they tend to not have any remorse, which makes them very dangerous, especially when you think of domestic violence, since, you know, that is like what we're focusing on here, because that is somebody who can do horrible things to you and disrespect your boundaries. They don't know how to keep their hands off of you or whatever, and then they don't feel bad for it either. So how do you work with somebody in a relationship like that doesn't even see that they did anything wrong? Another one is, we'll go with multiple personality disorder, and this one is pretty this one hits home for me and probably a lot of other victims and abusers on both sides, because that stems from just the fear of abandonment.
Yeah.
And abandonment issues, you know, a lot of us have those issues because we grew up in single parent households, or, you know, your boyfriend abandoned you when you were 15 and it actually caused a lot more trauma than you realize. So that tends to be like impulsive. I know I dealt with a lot of like impulsivity of like just reacting in the moment without pausing. And that's actually why I started doing tea parties, because tea became a part of my ritual to pause, to be like, I'm gonna crash out, and then being like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna drink some tea. And you've probably heard me say this before, because I say it a lot. Like, I'm gonna just drink some tea, and I'm gonna like allow myself to feel what I'm feeling, and I'm gonna honor the pause. So that was huge for me. But this can show up in domestic violence in relationships a lot of times, is what I see a lot. And I didn't recognize this as abuse until I sat down with like the wheel of abuse after my second relationship. And it's like somebody can like threaten self-harm. Like they're threatening to harm themselves because they're in fear that you're gonna leave. So they're like, I'm gonna harm myself if you leave. And what that happens is that makes the other person feel stuck, feel trapped. You feel responsible for now somebody that you love, and that is an abusive behavior. And you know, it takes accountability. It takes awareness for you to recognize, like, okay, I'm doing too much, and like I gotta work on that with myself. And the good thing about that is this is one of the most treatable out of all of them, because there's a lot of tools. You know, you can learn to regulate your emotions. You can work on your abandonment issues. You can work on being impulsive. So, you know, there's a lot of hope. You know, that's why I don't really like to like even label somebody with multiple personality disorders. Like, you've been through a lot of shit, you know.
I just feel like, oh, if I never hit him, I would not got hit. If I never talked back, I would not get hit. If I just got up and did what that person said, people always get guilt trip when stuff happens like that. Because like I said, I seen it from my loved ones. My loved ones went through it. They always just shut themselves down. Or their abusers start getting on stalking mode. Those are the ones that just be scaring me, because I've been hearing so much stories. Like the stalking abusers, those are like really hard to run away from, because like I said, like my mom, her abuser followed her everywhere. Every state we moved to, it was ridiculous. Just like,
and that's so scary, because it's like